Hey DIY family, and welcome back to our channel.
Hat by Evans.
I'm Sasha,
And I'm Rory.
and today we'll be doing our kitchen part 1.
Part 1. Still not fully complete as yet, but it's a work in progress.
Today we're going to be telling you about our kitchen renovations, and we'll be walking you through the renovations. It's kind of like an update on where we are now because it's not complete, as Rory said before. We will be giving you an idea of the prices of the things that we've spent on so far, and let you know some of the things that we did ourselves to save on cost and save on money. And of course, we'll give you a walkthrough of the space as it is now. We are entering a challenge called the 1 room challenge, in which you get to transform 1 room in 8 weeks. We chose our kitchen, and so every week we will be doing a little bit more to the space until it's complete. Every Thursday we get to reveal or do a mini reveal of our progress and give updates. We'll be doing it on Instagram and on our website, so you can follow that channel.
We'll also provide you with some YouTube footage also. Since you're a DIY family, so we definitely want you to feel inclusive of that process.
So now that we're over with the formalities, let's get started.
When we saw this kitchen, we knew right away that we wanted to open it up. And this is what the kitchen looked like before we did anything to it. So when we saw the house, this is what the kitchen looked like.
Yeah, so as you see, the kitchen, it was pretty much a galley kitchen. Had cabinets on both sides. It was very narrow. And we saw that we had a wall that we definitely wanted to take down. Of course, we had to check our mason, our engineer, just to ensure that it's not load bearing. Luckily it wasn't. There was a beam right above it. So we started designing our kitchen layout, and I think Sasha came up with a few designs, and I also came up with some.
Many.
And as you know, with design, it evolves. So
This is a modeling of what we anticipated or how we expected it to turn out.
I think we still did a few little tweaks here and there, but there weren't any major changes once we agreed on that final model.
Before we took down the wall, we took out the cabinets because we weren't about to buy new cabinets. These cabinets were in good condition, and so we decided that we're going to keep them and sand them down, and we weren't sure if we were going to paint or stain them, and we also weren't sure of the color that we're going to use. We went through quite a few color options when we decided that we're going to paint it. We wanted green at one point, different shades of green. We bought green, we bought blue. Yeah, we have enough paint, a lot of paint that we bought. We ended up deciding on this color, which is agreeable gray. It's a Sherwin-Williams color.
I think we skipped a few stuff.
Yeah, we did skip. All right, let's backtrack. So we took out the cabinets out of the kitchen because we wanted to ensure that we didn't damage them and that we could reuse them when we remove the wall.
And sell the ones that we didn't want.
Yes,
yeah,
we sold quite a few cabinets.
We sold most of the uppers because based on our kitchen design, we didn't want to have a lot of upper cabinets. We wanted it to feel open, so we know that we're gonna have shelf at a section in the kitchen, which will be beside the stove, and outside of that we only have, I would say, a mini section of upper cabinets. We also got creative and we reused one of the upper cabinets as a base cabinet to support our slab. So if you look on it, you would never know, but we'll show you the angle so you can see that it's actually shorter it's actually narrower than the full width, full depth of the regular base cabinet.
I wanted to keep a lot of them. We reused some of them, so if you saw the video of the entry, and if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. If you saw the video of the entry, that was the cabinet that was over the fridge, and we reused it in the entry. It was a perfect size. The mason came in, we helped with the demolition, with pulling down the cabinets, pulling down the counter. My dad was here. He had fun and mash up himself. one day, right? And he was in pain afterwards, tearing down wall and cabinet and counter.
And the tiles.
And the tiles as well, because the tiles were some older type tiles. So we removed them and we actually tried to find a very close match. It's not the same, it's not exactly the same, but it's very close to what was in the house before, because we didn't want to have any difference in tile, and we didn't want to change the tiles in the rest of the house.
And that in itself was a process to find the tiles. And then when we eventually found the tiles that were closest to it, they told us that they didn't care about the exact tile because the shading changed. So we ended up identifying the tile at Home and Things.
Yeah,
so identified it at Home and Things. Then we know that there was going to be a massive sale at Home and Things. I think it was Black Friday sale. And I decided that, all right, I have to get that sale. Based on what I've heard before, I have to get that sale. It was worth it based on the savings. I think we got maybe like 40% off all of the items. I spent like $60,000, including tiles for the kitchen. I think we have about 10 or 11 boxes of tile left, which is
40. For other spaces.
Yeah, I think 40 tiles, and these are massive porcelain tiles. So they're 2 by 2. All right, so we cut out a new doorway in the kitchen
to the backyard.
We also blocked up one of the windows in the kitchen based on Sasha's design. Oh, you never remember that?
Yes,
Okay.
just I remember. Yeah, we blocked up one window.
Yeah, so there was a window where our stove is currently, right above it. And because we wanted a pot filler and a range hood, we decided to block up that window. So by blocking up that window, that was the next reason why we had to create a door, because we needed light and we needed additional ventilation. So there's another window in the kitchen, but because we got rid of that one, we just wanted a little more light and air to come in.
So after the demolition, the mason was a part of the demolition. He also dressed and
We call it
what the word?
Render.
Dress and render the wall. At that point, we were able to put back the cabinets in the spaces that we wanted them in. We got the stove. We bought it at Singer, and we got it the exact size to fit in between the cabinets. It wasn't exact.
We had to do something.
Well, based on our measurements, it would have been exact, but based on the wall is not, what do you call it, straight.
Yeah, it's not plumb.
So when we actually put the cabinets and the stove in the space, it was very tight. So we have to plane off some of the cabinet, the side of the cabinet, to actually get it to fit.
Manual plane, by the way. So ended up have to even use chisel to get off some of the layers of the board to one of the cabinets. And one of the fun things also was, because we're reusing the cabinets, but we're changing the layout, so we had to take cabinets from different sides of the kitchen and put them exactly where we wanted. It was very interesting to see how we moved them and how we ensured that they could all fit into the space to let it seem like it was custom. But I guess it was custom because we customized it.
At that point, we didn't have a countertop. We had cabinets. We had a stove. We didn't have a sink. But guess what, guys? We moved in. So when we moved in, we decided that we would get the countertop, get the sink, install it. For the sink, we wanted a apron sink, but we didn't have the cabinet, the sink that was there before was a regular undermount sink, and because we wanted an apron sink, we had to modify the cabinet doors so that the sink can sit on top of the cabinet. And if you look in the picture right here, it looks flawless. Rory did a good job at dismantling the doors and then putting it back together so that you can't even tell that this isn't how the cabinet was built.
Yeah, man, we chop it up.
So yeah, that was good job, Rory. We were basically living in a construction zone. We decided on the color, as I told you. We painted the cabinets. Rory spent, at the time I was pregnant, and so I wasn't able to help as much as I wanted to. So Rory took on the task of painting all of the cabinets, and night after night after night, real sweat equity, him paint all of the cabinet them. And yeah, me love the color. I love the cabinets. I love them a lot.
It's about 4 or 5 layers of paint that's on it.
So for the island, we had to get some new cabinets. These are drawers that we bought at Exotic Stone. And again, at the time I was pregnant and I wasn't able to help with the assembly. And if you know me, you know that me love assembly furniture, right? But my little sister was here and she and Rory assembled the drawer, and we kind of stand up over them and supervise. And at the time we weren't even sure what layout we wanted for the island. So this island went through a series of layouts.
Our island is made up of 2 30-inch and a 36-inch cabinet. Drawer. So because we didn't have any countertop, we were able to mix and match. So sometimes we have the 230 here and the 36 over here, then have a long way. Then at times we wanted seating over this side and wanted it over the other side again. It was a good trial, because we were able to move it around, sit around it, and see how it feels. At one time we couldn't even walk behind it because the spacing wasn't adequate. So that's a good thing that you need to ensure that once you're doing your island, you're able to walk behind it. And if you have
walk around it, and when you put the chairs there and the chairs are out, there's still enough space for people to pass behind.
And if you have a fridge, the door needs to open and you can still pass freely.
So when you're doing your kitchen designs or drawing your kitchen layout, just bear that in mind. I think the space that is recommended is between 36 to, what is it, Rory? 36 to 48? Or
yeah, well, anything over 36-inch is good.
Between the island and the rest of the things that exist in the kitchen.
Yeah, I think that said, like, if you have 30 or 32-inch, it is okay, but not ideal. What was also important for the island is that I should be able to watch TV.
So the slab. Me did want a nice big white slab, right? This slab, we got it at Active.
Well, I wanted a white slab. So.
Okay, good to hear him say it. We got this slab at Active for a little over $100,000 at the time, and then we paid about $70,000 to have it fabricated. And after spending that much money on the slab, we decided that when we're doing the island, it has to be more cost effective. We had to find a way to get something that looks just as good for a fraction of the price, and we'll get into that shortly.
And the slab it's a quartz slab, by the way.
Yes, so it's white quartz. It's about 2 inches thick, and the fabricators did a pretty good job because we got the what you call a bull nose on it, where it looks like double the thickness. And they were able to cut out the area for the apron sink and the area for the faucet and the soap dispenser. So we got a pretty good deal. I mean, based on the cost of all of the items, the work was done nicely. And
I helped to install also because I was a cabinet man. So.
We were the cabinet
Sure.
people because we did have to install all of the cabinets prior to them coming and make sure so them plumb and square and straight and as straight as possible so that they could install the slab.
Yeah, literally when they came to do the fabrication, they were outside with the slab cutting while we're inside ensuring that the supports are in, the cabinets are level and flush. So it was a good rush. And we did complete it with a few minutes to spare before they came and installed.
Right, so that's the slab. So slab, then we painted and we installed the hardware and the faucet. So we got this faucet on Amazon and we decided that for this kitchen we wanted to have a soap dispenser, which we also bought on Amazon. I can leave the links below. I'm not sure that the faucet is still available, but at the time we paid about $70 for the faucet. And the soap dispenser we probably paid about $20 for it.
Or maybe a little less.
Or maybe less than that, see? And we decided that we wanted gold, so we were all on gold fixtures and finishes. For the cabinet pulls, we got them on Amazon as well, and I'll leave the link below for all of the items that we got on Amazon. They cost about $30 per pack, and about 10 comes in each pack. Rory installed the faucet, guys, and it has not leaked, right?
Well, faucet and drain, so it was a full thing because I had to cut off the existing drain that was there, and because we took out the sink, we took out the old countertop, which we donated, and I think they're using it now, so that's good. It's always good to upcycle or recycle. So because we took out all the plumbing that was there before, it wasn't very neat and it took up too much space, so I had to put on my plumber hat and install it. So we did have a plumber on site for some of the days. I guess because we did our renovation during Christmas, he was very busy. So I just said, all right. I kind of watch a few of the things that you were doing. So before I had a little plumber experience, but I decided to take on majority of it. I did the plumbing work, and as Sasha said,
Guys,
it's not leaking.
so the next thing that we did was to install the backsplash. We got the tiles at Creative.
It was about 30,000 including the tiles and the material. We did get a lot of tiles based on the design that we wanted. So as you see, the typical height of a kitchen level would have been maybe like 18 inches or 16 inches. So
But me enough.
went over
I did
2
want it
feet.
higher.
Yes, I think we're at about 26 inches.
But because of the design, I didn't want it to be too low or too small and then you not appreciate the design. We went with the herringbone design and we did get a tiler, we did get a tiler to come in and do the tiling. However, the tiler seemed to have too much work. He left his tools and Rory and I put on our tiler hats, and I mean in the evenings after work and on the weekends we did quite a bit of tiling and we got a lot done. When he came back and saw how much we did, he was like, whoa, couldn't take my job. But yeah, and it was fun. I enjoyed tiling. Would I tile?
Yeah,
Would I be a tiler?
finished product is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean he did come back and do some of the finishing touches and grout it, but for the most part we did quite a bit of tiling. So after the tiling, Rory decided that he couldn't wait, he have to install a pot filler. So he went ahead and installed the pot filler, which we started to use immediately. I mean, I don't even use it as often as I thought I would, but
She just wanted it.
it looked nice. How much you pay for it?
Well, we got it on a very good deal from Amazon.
For
like $25 or something like that.
It was worth it. Come on.
And I think it's a Kess, or is a pretty decent brand.
It's a brand that we buy all the time for our bathroom fixtures, so we trust the brand. So yeah.
And it's gold, so it gives it that pop again.
It's very nice. It looks so nice in the space. Tell me something it look nice. I love it.
It's really a good conversational piece also.
So after that, we moved on to working on the island countertop. And it didn't take us long, as I said before, to decide that we wanted to do something that wasn't as expensive. After doing the epoxy in the laundry room, and if you haven't checked out that video, you need to go ahead and check it out. So after doing the epoxy in the laundry room, we decided that we have to do the epoxy for the island. So of course, I wanted a quartz, a Calcutta gold quartz counter, right?
How much it cost, Rory?
I think it's like $50 or $1,600 per square foot. So,
Right.
and a slab is 55 square feet.
Yes. So my dreams were shattered into a million pieces, right? But we revived it and said that we were going to try the epoxy, and if it didn't work, we would have probably just try it again and make sure it worked the second time, because yeah, the price there would have been very much like 2 times the price that we paid for this white slab.
Yeah.
So we have a video on how we did our epoxy kitchen island, and you can check that out as well.
So before we did the epoxy on the kitchen island, we installed plywood on it first. So I think we purchased a 3/4 inch plywood, and we decided to use the full length, which is 8x4, and you'll see that information in our epoxy video. So, but we were rocking the plywood for a while, yeah,
For a while.
because it was functional. A plywood costs like $4,000 or $5,000. Let's go with the plywood. Even if we decide to go with a slab afterwards, we can still put a slab on the plywood.
Right. So this, I think, this cost us. So we use a 1 liter of epoxy, which is 1 liter of resin and 1 liter of hardener, and we got a white undercoat, which we ended up using in the epoxy. And for the color, we use spray paint because we have spray paint, so we just use spray paint and mix it into the epoxy. And the counter cost us how much, Rory?
Under $20,000 for
Less
everything.
than, for everything, for the plywood, the epoxy, the color, even though that's leftover spray paint,
Yeah.
and the hardener, and all of that information is in our epoxy video, so you can go ahead and check it out. And I mean, I'll leave the links for the various things that we bought for the island on this video as well, so you can check them out if it's something that you're interested in doing for yourself. And that's where we are. So what we will do now is give you a walkthrough of the layout of the kitchen, and give you a look at what we have done so far and where we are. And remember that over the next 8 weeks,
We're gonna finish it.
so if you want to keep up with that journey and get the live updates, because it does take some time for us to get it out to YouTube. So if you want to get live updates, then follow us on Instagram, and follow our website, because we'll be updating that as we go.
Come follow us for the tour.
So this is the sink area, and this is a sink that Rory actually installed pretty much everything for this sink. The countertop guy is put in the physical sink, but he did the drain, he did the faucet, the little soap dispenser right there, bam, and he also modified the cabinet to to fit the sink. So before, this cabinet was a full-size cabinet, so it came all the way up to the counter, and he took off the doors, cut them and put them back together so that the sink could fit right on top of it. All right, so we got this faucet at Amazon. When we got it, we could actually touch it to turn it on. I think that's a work. That feature has stopped working, but it was a good buy and it worked well while it lasted. But it still functions, so we won't get rid of it. And the soap dispenser, which I personally think is very convenient. And if you notice, we have a lot of red appliances. All our small appliances are red. Yeah. This area was an area that we said that we put a dishwasher, but we might just put a beverage fridge there. These are the only upper cabinets that we have in the kitchen, and we really put this up to facilitate the microwave. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have any upper cabinets. And of course, plates and cups and whatever, because it's convenient to have them there. This is one of the upper cabinets that we reused as a lower cabinet, and you can see that it's a bit short in the back, but it really worked out. Yeah. And to the left you have our pantry. You can see we still have some work to do on the ceiling, change the fixture and paint. Coming over here you have our fridge and the tea station, my favorite place. We'll get to that shortly. This is our kitchen island. This is our DIY island. We still have to do something about this, to cover this up and to put some design at the back. We're not thinking necessary, but I mean, as you walk in, you sit under there to me. So we'll find a way to do a nice DIY design for under there. These are actually our dining table chairs. We have a counter height dining table, so we're using the chairs here. So actually need to get some counter chairs. And this is our tea station. This is my favorite place because it has everything I love. Tea. Baby things kind of take over the area, but yeah, this is a tea station. And right below it we have rum. Gotta show you. Rum. Yeah, that's why this that's another reason why this is my favorite area. Yeah, and we didn't put a cabinet over the fridge because we wanted to keep this area pretty open. So as you can see, we still have work to do. I mean, we've come a far way, a lot of DIYs, but we still have some more work to do, like ceilings and the vents and to paint and trim and finish. Alright guys, well there you have it. That's where we are with our kitchen. That's where we are with our kitchen. Just
It's
to give
functional.
you, it is fully functional. And just to give you an idea of what we'll be doing in the next 8 weeks, we'll be customizing our vent hood.
We'll be doing tray ceilings using drywall.
We'll be installing some recessed lights.
Little electrical work. work.
Installing open shelves. We'll be doing some trims around the door. The kitchen need for paint. It not paint yet.
Yeah,
It
before
was
paint,
but
we're gonna have to do some more, I guess, putty, smooth out the walls and stuff like that.
things like that.
Yeah.
Nice it up. Install some trims around the window as well.
Wow.
Finish the island.
Yeah, we'll have some pulls, just some pulls, and also the back
Do a little design on the back
that you won't see.
that I will see. And some other little projects here and there, and then we'll add our razzle dazzle, things that Roy don't think are important, but you know, decor is important.
Functionality. That's
Decor.
important.
They're gonna be functional. Yeah, but this 8 weeks, guys, we're excited about it, so stay tuned for that. Well, thanks for catching up with us. Thanks for watching this very long video. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below, and stay tuned for our kitchen remodel or finishing.
Yeah,
kitchen.
finalizing it.
Yeah, excited, guys.
And remember, like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
A long time, but I said that. Bye.